Hey there, it's Tracy Adams here, and this is the fourth video of this series that I'm going to be sharing with y'all. The topic that I'm going to cover today, and yes, I am going to refer to my notes some, just to make sure that I stay on track and I don't get too verbose, because I tend to be. So I'm going to talk about what we eat within our 8-hour fasting window. Sorry, I keep like messing with the phone. Anywho, okay, so one of the reasons that we feel so hungry on the diets that most people follow comes down to one thing, and that is what we are eating, okay? When we consume primarily carbs and protein, and believe me when I say this, carbs are hidden in everything and they add up very quickly, then your body, it stays in this constant state of burning sugar. Okay, it gets used to you constantly adding more fuel being sugar, to the fire. Okay, that's how carbs are. Well, you get an instant burst of energy when you eat them, but then that energy's burned, it's gone, and you're left feeling hungry and with some yucky feelings like lightheadedness, nausea. You know what it's like when you're out running errands and you made the mistake of leaving home without a snack and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, I need to eat something. So the kindling is the carbs, okay? And then we get to the logs, all right, which is underneath the kindling. The logs are the proteins, all right? They're the building blocks of your muscles, but they can also be a barrier that keeps you from losing fat, okay? When we're out of carbs to convert to fuel, rather than going to burning fat, the body's going to go to that excess amount of protein that you've consumed, and it's going to convert it into glucose. The protein are the logs, so it takes a little bit longer to get the logs going. It takes a little bit longer for your body to transition protein over into glucose. But then we get to the coal, all right? And the coal is the fat, all right? Fat is so much like the coal in the fire. Coal takes the longest to get to light and burn, but the coal burns the longest and gives the most sustained energy. And that is the same with our bodies and fat. So why is it so hard for our bodies to burn the fat that's on it, okay? Why are we not burning the flabbiness, under the arm or the stuff? I'm sorry, I'm holding my selfie stick up while I record, so I can't really use my other hand. So, all right, so if you will recall from an earlier video that I shared, your body only uses one source or the other, okay? Picture a tanker truck that has two vessels on it, all right? That tanker truck can only cannot switch to tank number 2 until tank number 1 is completely empty. And our bodies are the same. So they do not burn fat until all the glucose and the glycogen has been burned. All right. So any food that you've eaten recently, plus the 2,000 plus calories of glycogen that is stored within your body. Your body so conveniently has 2,000 plus calories worth of glycogen stored in the liver, and you have to burn through all of that before your body's going to burn any fat whatsoever, okay? And it's not going to be happy about it, all right? You'll feel pretty crappy, so you have to do it right, okay? So that, my friends, is why it's so hard for our bodies to burn fat, and that is why what we eat in our 8-hour window is so important. Before I give more info on what we eat, before I touch on that, I just want to revisit the why behind why we want to burn fat. Outside of the obvious, Captain Obvious here, and that would be to lose fat off of the ill body, right? And being fat adapted, okay? It also makes your body produce ketones, okay? And ketones are what allow us to use fat as our energy source instead of sugar, okay? The ketones are the key to the amazing energy that you've heard me talk about. They're the key to the focus that I have shared, that, and my no need for, my afternoon, or at least I don't get my body doesn't tell me to nap every day. Not that I was napping every day, although I did yesterday because of Delaney's birthday party. But also, your body being able to burn the actual fat off of your body and use that for fuel so that you're not always hungry. You know, even if you haven't eaten for a while, your body is in a fat adapted state. And so you haven't eaten breakfast yet and you've worked out, that's all right. I'm just going to dip into the fat that's on your thighs or, you know, around that's causing your muffin top. I'm going to use that for energy, and all is good. And you can just keep on going about your day feeling amazing. Okay. So, to get to that best fuel source of burning, you know, a ton of energy from being in ketosis, you got to do it right. You got to get there the right way, or it can take forever and it can be pretty darn miserable. And we will talk about that later. So when we're first getting our bodies into ketosis, we want to limit our carbs and our proteins tremendously. Okay. My carbs each day have been from my Shakeology, which net carbs of Shakeology, depending on the formulation, is around 11 to 13 carbs. And my Shakeology is now completely a non-negotiable, only because I know with such limited carbs, it's the only way I'm going to get all my vitamins and my minerals and all that good stuff that I need into my system every day. Okay. And then maybe 1 to 2 cups of leafy greens, whether it's in a salad or I cooked it and put it in an egg omelet or what have you. And then maybe a bit of other veggies for dinner. Okay. My protein has also been very limited, and that has come from some eggs that I might have had when I broke my fast for my break fast. So cheesy. My Shakeology, and then whatever meat I have with my dinner that night. Okay. And then my healthy fats have been very high. Okay. You would be completely blown away if you were to see my log of what I eat every day. I'm keeping my macronutrients, and those are your macros are your fat, your carbs, and your protein. I'm keeping my macronutrient ratios at a certain level within a certain percentage so that I'm continuously having my body use fat for fuel. Okay. Thanks to some tricks, you know, that I have learned, as well as some really yummy fat bombs, I've been able to accomplish this. So, and when I say, you know, making my body, by no means am I implying that my body isn't happy about being here, because I'll tell you what, I feel amazing. And there's just no question that this was a very good choice for me. The reduction in inflammation and my pain and my energy and what have you, I definitely haven't made my body, but I did have to force it into being fat adapted, and everybody does. So a couple weeks ago, I had to go up to school, and this was when I was still working on getting my body into a fat adapted state. And one thing that I will be teaching in my upcoming groups, and something that was taught to me, was like, this is an N of 1. This is me, my experiment. One of the number one factors in this is self, okay? And learning to listen to your body and not saying, oh, I need to eat food, or my body needs this, but really listening to it. And I had come home from an appointment, and I had between 11:45 and 12:15 before I had to get up to school. I was helping load 340 Mother's Day cakes into bags. So you can imagine, you can imagine the temptation that I was just about to walk into. And I was like, well, if I don't eat now, and I had not eaten since 6:30 the night before. If I don't eat now, then I'm not going to be able to eat until I get home from school with Delaney at 3:15. I was like, should I eat? But I'm not hungry. Like, I'm not hungry at all. And I messaged with my girls that I'm doing this with, and we all decided, go for it. Don't eat. So I went up to school with water. That's all I had. I had my water with a little bit of lemon and Himalayan salt in it, and then a couple extra bottles. No snack, okay? And anybody in this group that has been in any of my groups knows, like, that is like one of the golden rules. Never leave home without a snack. Just swap. Never leave home without a snack, water, and a plan. And it was such a weird feeling, and yet it was liberating too, which is one of the reasons why I have coined this the freedom diet. And the hope comes from people that haven't been able to lose weight, that actually are losing weight doing this. So it's amazing. But anyway, so I go up there, and I was nervous. I was fine. I was totally fine. I did not get lightheaded. I didn't get nauseous. My stomach wasn't rumbling. I was fine. And Delaney and I, you know, we get in the car and we head home, and we get home at 3:15, or 3:10, and I very calmly, go about making my egg omelet for my breakfast. Can't call it breakfast because it was at like 3:30 in the afternoon by the time I ate it. But it was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. I went 21 hours without eating and I felt good. And you can't tell me that it's bad for me if I felt that amazing doing it. So that is what I'm talking about. Like, what you eat really matters in this process. I'm going to interject here real quick and just reassure you that by no means am I advocating going 21 hours without eating. Part of the diet beta test that I'm doing with Chalene Johnson, there was a fasting protocol of 5 days where you did 20 hours fast with a 4-hour eating window, and we were working towards that. But by no means am I going to recommend this or suggest this, so don't freak out. But I wanted to share that with you just to drive home how different it is living when, going through your days when you're not a sugar burner, but a fat burner. And I'm sure that kind of painted a good picture for you, right? Okay, so let's see. There you have it, okay? A high, healthy fat diet with low carbs is what we eat on the Freedom and Hope plan. I caution you though, please don't start to try and do this until you learn more. I have so much more to share with you about different hormones, and they can be quite pesky, as you know. Inflammation, how this way of living can help so much with all of that. And we're also going to have some personal testimonies on here, so you don't just hear from me, because I know some of you are like, oh, Tracy, you're happy no matter what. So we're going to have other people get on here that you don't know as well as I do and share some of their story. And I'm super excited. So that is all I have for now. Post any comments or questions below. I will be happy to answer them. And then next, I can't remember what's on the list. Okay, next I'm going to be talking about human growth hormone. So, sorry this one's a little long, but I felt like it was important, and I was feeling it today. I also took some Energize because I'm getting ready to go for a bike ride. So, lucky you. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.